Right then guys, how we doing? We are back, and what a shocking end to the season. We completely bottled it. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh with the team, the expectation was a mid-table finish really, not to do anything else. Yes, I wanted to push for Europe, and we could have got it if I'm completely honest. We'll just have a look at this league table. You can see there we lost in the European playoff final to Connors Key that were nowhere near us throughout this season, and yeah, we've managed to blow it. So we ended up in 5th place, 32 games played, 11 wins, but 15 draws. That's the highest amount of draws in the league. 6 defeats all season, 34 goals scored, 23 conceded, which is the lowest as well. We conceded the lowest amount of goals this season, plus 11 goal difference, 48 points on the board. It's that form towards the back end of the season though, as out of our last 5 games, we only won 1, lost 3, and drew 1. Looking at those past positions then, you can see there, we were in the top 4 all the way through, ended up dropping down to 5th in the final 2 games of the season, back-to-back defeats there, doing us over. TNS, they were basically top for the majority of the season. Cardiff Met were doing bits. They diced with death towards the end of the season, obviously all the way down into 5th, before getting back into 2nd spot. But it is all about the end of season review and the awards then, so having a look at the review all together. Our best transfer was Callum Ellerslie. I completely agree with that. We did have plenty of players join us though. We had players join us, then disappear again. When we look at the transfers out, was there any big transfers that left us? No, not really. Obviously plenty of players went. Ricardo Fuller, he come with us for 6 months and then he disappeared. I got a C+ from the board for my performance throughout the league campaign. The board delighted that the team reached the final of the Cameroon Premier European playoff places. They're buzzing with that. What about in the Welsh Cup? We got a C for it. And in the Nathaniel MG Cup, we got a C+ as well. Yes, we were knocked out in the quarterfinal in that one. Then in the quarterfinal by Barrytown. In both of the cup competitions, I think we could have done much better. But in the Premier League, look at the amount of draws that we had there. We had a decent back end to the season, but then fell apart, basically. In the last 5-6 games of the season, when we were in total control of our destiny, yeah, we didn't do too well. So moments to remember then, our biggest win was a 4-0 victory over Carnarvon. Match to remember was a 2-1 victory in the JD Welsh Cup against TNS. TNS, they just couldn't get the better of us this season. And our goal of the season was Akatu against Barla. That was the finish where he was on the edge of the area and he put it through a crowd of bodies. We did see that one in the last couple of episodes. So looking at the finances then and everything else, club reputation hasn't changed. We're still a half-a-star club, no sponsorship deals or anything like that. But our annual revenue was up. Everything's going to be up anyway because we've got no financial history. And merchandise sales, we made 546 quid from shirt sales. So looking at how we lined up then, we ended up playing a 4-2-3-1 formation. And that is our starting 11 basically. With Parry getting a 7.11, Akatu, Lever, Ellerslie and Lewis at the back, with Bayo and Vieira in the middle, Edge, Harry and Aguiang, and then Roberto up front. That is more or less the way we lined up. Our highest scorer this season was Roberto with 10, and then Harry and Aguiang getting 7 apiece. And then looking at the accolades then, fans player of the season was Ellerslie, young player of the season was also Ellerslie, signing of the season was Ellerslie, so he's had a clean sweep there. Goal of the season was Akatu, top goal scorer Roberto with 10, most assists Aguiang with 9 across all competitions. Most player of the match awards, Aguiang with 6, highest average rating was Ellerslie with a 7.3, and most passes completed per 90 minutes was Vieira with 67. Competition awards then, the Premier League Young Player of the Year was Hudson Parry, so he has earned his place. He's terrible though, let's be honest. Potential ability could be 4.5 star, but currently playing 1.5 star. But he has more or less been ever present for us. Our second string goalkeeper's had some opportunity, but he played 22 games and kept 12 clean sheets. Not bad, he only conceded 16 goals in the games that he played. So that's the season review over then. Club vision and expectations for this coming season is develop players using the club's youth system again, work within the wage budget, and they just want us to avoid relegation again this season. Happy with that. They haven't really got any expectations for the cup competitions. I'm not even going to negotiate that. I'm going to accept the current vision. So end of season team meeting then. Let's talk to the guys. I appreciate all your hard work this season. When we come back from your breaks, we're going to get stuck into the challenge of finishing the top half. I'm going to go with that. They're hurt with that. What's the problem? That's unrealistic. You're setting us up to fail. The entire team doesn't believe that we can have a mid-table finish. I'll back down. I'm going to back down. They're loving that. I'll say we're just going to fight bravely against relegation. I want you to enjoy your breaks. Get yourself away now off to Cancun and Magaluf and Ibiza and live your best life. Thanks everyone. I'll see you when you come back. So that is it. Roscoe wins JD Premier League Player of the Year. That's not one of ours. But Parry does win that Young Player of the Year. Let's congratulate him. Congratulations, lad. Well done. I think we do need to start looking at starting a coaching course for myself though. So, when I asked last time, they originally said the coaching course would potentially, the more qualified I was, it was more likely that I was going to go elsewhere. So we'll see what happens with that one. And the board are unwilling to grant my request again. It looks like while I'm at the club, they're not going to want to improve my ability. Whilst we appreciate it's a very valid thing to do, we fear that bettering yourself could lead to a bigger club coming in for your services. Therefore, we say no. I'm going to discuss it with the board. I'd like to develop further. We're not sure that would benefit the team right now. How would it not benefit the team? Ridiculous that from the board there. You know, that has left me questioning my future. I'm within my second season and they do not want me to progress. What jobs are going at the minute in the job centre? You know, there's plenty of Vanarama National League positions going. Do I look at going to then Southend United potentially? What about in the Scottish Premiership Hibernian? Well, obviously we're not going to get there. Dungannon in the Dansk Bank Premiership potentially. I'm assuming they've just been relegated. There's teams there that have obviously just gone down. Southend could be a decent shout. Try and get promoted there. But I am not the favourites for any positions naturally. So looking at my profile then, what's happening? I've still got a national reputation. I'm half a star. Win percentage wise though is 40%. I've played 40 games, won 16, drawn 15, lost 9. Goal difference though is plus 12 as I've scored 42 and conceded 30. When we look at my attributes, a couple of movements there. Working with youngsters is now 5, mentals 4, people management and motivation 4 as well. So we have got some movement. However, reputation wise is still crippling us. And I have not got any qualifications at all, and that is a problem. Right, so I think it's time that we need to look at this squad depth. Now, obviously, tactically, I am playing that 4-2-4. But, yeah, look at the ratings here. Let's be honest, you know, Andrew Roach is the best player at the club up front. With Agyang, Roberto and Harry, you know, I've got to do some work up there. Charlie Edge, the best player on the left. Agyang on the right. I like that setup with those two, Edge and Agyang. I can live with that. In the centre midfield, there's only 2 players really, isn't there? Biao and Vieira. Nobody else really comes close. When we look out on that left-hand side, we've got Kane Lewis, Lee Hartshaw on there as well. He has come in and does look good. We'll develop him nicely, you know, 2.5 star already, potential ability 5 star. In the centre of my defence, I've got Ellerslie and Lever. Lever has let me down time and time again. His attributes are bad for this level, but a 29-year-old, he's got no transfer value there. So we're going to see him with us next season. Definitely. Hamilton, the best right back at the club. Obviously, another player to come through our youth intake, and he was the best player from that youth intake as well. And then goalkeeping-wise, I've got Hudson Parry. Wiley got Premier League Young Player of the Year. I think we need a better option in goal as well. So I've got lots to do. But when looking at the finances, I've got a transfer budget of 13k, nearly £14,000 in fact, and I'm happy with that. I'm going to get 30% of transfer revenue. I'm not going to be able to make any money off transfers anyway, so that's not a problem. Wage budget-wise, I've got 2.8k to spend, and I'm only spending £2,000, so I've still got £800 to spend as well. I might just stick all that transfer budget into wages and try and entice some better players to the club. So that's what we're going to do then, guys. I think now, obviously, that's the awards, and we've talked about my development, and that doesn't look very good to see. If a job opportunity comes up in this summer, I may well leave just because they are stunting my growth. They really are. They do not want me to develop. The board have really let me down, if I'm honest, and I am raging about it. But what I am going to do is I am going to try and develop the squad over the summer. So you'll join me on the other side of the break when we'll talk through the incoming and outgoing transfers. Right then, guys, so we've had a fairly solid transfer window. I'm still very unhappy about them not letting me get my coaching qualifications. You know, that's the board's problem. And I have looked. Well, I did apply for one more job. I applied for a job at Southend. Obviously, that wasn't meant to be because my reputation is shocking. But then so's the club's, and that has been a struggle to try and bring players in. However, I think we've done well with it. First of all, we'll look at the finances. I've still got £9,000 in the transfer budget. Wage budget-wise, 2.8k. Overall balance, 141k. And debts and loans, 0. So financially, we are in a very good place. Leaving the club then, the only player to leave the club worth talking about anyway is Simon Downer. Now he is retired, a player that I brought in at the start of last season. Didn't really do too much for it. He certainly didn't have the legs, that was evident in the games that we've seen him play. But yes, Simon Downer has retired. He's now in a coaching role. He's yet to find himself a club, but hopefully he does that. So bringing players into the club then, the first player I brought through the door was James Stoke, a 23-year-old Scot who plays out on the left-hand side. Now, I've brought him in for his pace and acceleration. More his acceleration at 13, his pace is 10, but that crossing and dribbling, 11 and 13. First touch as well, 11. Leadership, 13. Potential captain of the future. Current ability, 2.5 star. Potential ability, 4 star. Now, he was playing at Stirling Uni in the Scottish lower leagues last season. He played 34 times, 1 goal, 2 assists. Only got a 6.65 rating. This guy may not be a starter. He's got decent attributes for the position that I want, but he's definitely going to get 10 to 15 games this season. Naturally, I then needed to strengthen in the goalkeeping department, and I've brought in Oliver Davies. Now, he's a 27-year-old Welshman, and I wanted to keep some of that Welsh nationality in there as well. Plays as a sweeper keeper, reflexes 12, rushing out and punching tendency both high, not overly worried about that, but his one-on-ones at 12 is decent. So his current ability is 3-star, potential ability 3.5-star, and when we compare him with Parry, who's already there, he just edges it in the shot stopping department, and he's equal to him, if not better, in the other areas. Height 6 foot, exactly the same as Parry. Again, Oliver Davies is a step up from Parry. Yes, Parry's a young goalkeeper and will improve, but I've got me number one here now. I then brought in Tristan Jones, another Welshman, can play right across the back, heading 10, marking 12 and tackling 7. The tackling at 7 isn't ideal, but attributes wise he's decent for what I want. Current ability, as you can see there, 4.5-star, potential ability 5-star though, and I brought him in on a free transfer from Carmarthen when he played 28 times, scored once, 3 assists, 2 player of the match performances, but he did play at Haverfordwest in the Cameroon Premier 17 times the season before that, so he has got pedigree. But then the biggest transfer for me was Lewis Robels. Now, the board were not happy when I brought this guy in. Current ability 2-star, potential ability 3-star. 25-year-old Englishman, probably why they weren't happy. But he can play up front and out on the left-hand side. Crossing and dribbling, 7 and 12. Acceleration, both 13. But he played for TNS. We brought him in from TNS. Yes, he only played 2 times last season. But the season before that, he scored 12 goals in 25 appearances. And the season before that, he was a baller where he scored 11 times in 24 appearances. So this guy can score goals in the league that we're in as well, and he should have a winner mentality from being a TNS, so I'm really happy to get this guy in. Then I had to start looking at loans because it then became evident that I wasn't going to be able to get a lot of the quality players that I wanted. So I've brought in Ben Weeks, 19-year-old Scotsman, who can play out on that left-hand side as well. Again, acceleration and pace both high, crossing and dribbling both 12, first touch 13, another very good addition. Current ability 2.5-star, potential ability 5-star. And we've got him from Falkirk, like I say, where he actually played 10 times in Scotland's second tier last season. And then lastly, I brought in Jake Burton, another player that I want pushing the line. Acceleration and pace both 13, finishing 13, composure 11, heading 12, off the ball 8, could do a little bit more, aggression 13 as well. So he's going to get stuck in, he's definitely going to press, and that's what I want. I want somebody putting pressure on the opposition defence. So current ability 3-star, potential ability 5-star. When we look at his career stats, he's not had too much game time. He didn't play a game at all last season. The season before that though, he might have played 2 times in Tranmere's first team in League 2. This guy, I am hopeful that he's going to bag us 15 to 20 goals this season. Fingers crossed anyway. So looking at the tactics then, this is how we're going to line up. We're still going to go with the 4-2-4 attacking, with Davis in goal, Hartshorn, Jones, Ellerslie and Hamilton at the back, with Garrett and Vieira in the middle, Robels, Nagmiang out wide, with Roach and Burton up front. What a team that is, much improved from last season, and I've added to the depth of the squad. So from the squad dynamics then, with the players leaving and joining us, Team Keaton is good, club atmosphere is very good, and Margio's support is good. Top influencers wise then, I've got no team leaders as it stands, which isn't ideal. Bayo is a highly influential player and he's out there by himself, however he is the club captain. And as far as social groups go, I've got Robels and Burton, who doesn't fit into any social group yet, but the majority of my team are in the core social group, which is good. I have just touched on the squad depth and how we're looking there. Jake Burton is now the best striker at the club. Everybody else is currently 2-star. I'm not overly worried about that, as Agyang is the best player on both the left and right hand side, but Stokes also 3-star and Ben Weeks. In the midfield, obviously it was always Bayo and Vieira. We're going to stick with that anyway. Out on the left hand side now, Tristan Jones, the best player there. Ellerslie, Jones and Lever, the best three in my central defence, with Hamilton, the best player on the right. Ellerslie, Tristan Jones, Bayo, Kid. We are stacked out on that right hand side anyway. And in goal, Oliver Davies, 3-star. Very happy with how that team is set up at the minute. But there's only really that right hand side that lacks the depth, and I'm not worried about that with Agyang and Ferreira out there. And worst case scenario, pull one of those left sided players out onto the right and play them as an inverted forward. So competitions wise this season, obviously we've got the Premier League, the Welsh Cup and the Nathaniel MG Cup. And I fancy me chances in it. I do. Those cup competitions as well, we certainly need to go for it. Definitely got to get some silverware at the end of this and be breaking into the top 3, at least top 2, as we need to guarantee ourselves some European football next season. When we look at the season preview and the expectations for us, we had expected a 4th place finish, 50-1 to win the league. We haven't got any players in the Media Dream 11, but that does not surprise. But the top 3 of TNS, Connasky and Bangor City, who've just been promoted, 13-1 to win the league. That's, yeah, it's not bad odds there for them. And then lastly, looking at the schedule, and we start off the season with a game against Newtown. Newtown, our bogey side, yes, we beat them in the playoffs last season, but we have not beat them in the league proper. And then we have got Barla in the Welsh Cup second round, and I'm raging about it. There's plenty of lower league teams there, and we get drawn up against another Premier League side. So, yeah, there's an opportunity if you get past Barla, obviously, but I think we just edged past them last season, if I remember rightly. but it's going to be a big ask for us to do it again. So yes, that is it. So what we're going to do then is we are going to move forward now to the start of the season. At the start of the next episode, we'll take on Newtown and Bala, and then I'm probably going to skip month by month then and really move on, as this season I've got to get some silverware. So yes, join me in the next episode when hopefully we start off with a win in the league and the cup. So as always, it's been emotional. Stay safe, and I'll catch you later. Ta-ra.